Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com. Today I want to talk about something I was thinking about. I was remembering a time when and it was like it was yesterday, where my day was going mediocrely. It wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't good. It was just a series of inconveniences and minor annoyances. And I remember at some point during the day, it became just like a revelation from heaven. Now, it was something I knew consciously at this point, but it became so plain and clear and obvious that it couldn't be missed. That I was creating this reality I was experiencing this day. These minor annoyances, these people who were doing irritating things here and there, it was caused by my heart, by what I was thinking. Because I'd started that day a little bit irritated, and I didn't correct that. I didn't fix that. I didn't get myself in the right vibrational state. I didn't redirect my mind to focus on things that were good. I just allowed that mild irritation to fester and create a day full of those experiences. Like I said, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible or anything like that. For many people, it might even be normal for them, tragically. But it was not the ideal life that I was wanting and believing for. But I wasn't doing the proper work of believing and choosing to focus on the good. Now, I don't think that you have to have a revelation like that to get your life in order, but you might. I think what you can do, though, is renew your mind daily to these truths, to knowing that from your heart are the issues of life. That knowing as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That knowing that you shall have whatsoever you say, if you believe and you don't doubt in your heart. And when you meditate and ponder on those things, and you allow that to really resonate with you, and you understand in your heart, this is the reality you're experiencing. It's not somebody else's fault. It's not God's fault. God's the Father of lights. Every good gift comes from Him. He's not sending you bad things. He's not trying to make your life bad. It is so ridiculous that people blame God for their lives being the way they are. He's given you all the tools. He's given you the wisdom to know how to create the best life possible. And He sent His Son that you might have life and that more abundantly. So this is something you really have to work at. I know people don't want to hear this. They want to hear just some magical floating of angels from heaven to make your life easy. But you have to believe and you have to act. But your action has to be in a certain way. Now, for some of you, the day I described might be normal for you. You might have a day, it's just normal, it's just average, it's mediocre. There's little irritations here and there, but it's not terrible. But I'm going to tell you something, that's not ideal either. Just because your life isn't terrible, your days are not terrible, doesn't make them good. That middle ground, that mediocrity is bad. It's on that negative side, not the positive side. So don't settle for that. Many people settle for that. Well, nothing bad happened today. It's just kind of annoying and some problems here and there, but nothing terrible. And they settle for that. When you settle for that, that's all you're going to get. You'll never be able to get to that positive, great, high vibration, abundant life that Jesus came to give you because you've settled and believed for this mediocre life. And I'm going to tell you something very important. The reality is that mediocre life you've accepted very often leads to bad lives. It never goes to good. It generally goes downward and downhill and spirals into failure and misery and suffering. Things you don't want. Nobody sets out in their life to say, you know what, I sure want to make this day terrible. I sure want to suffer a lot today. I sure want to be miserable. But they do things during the day. They think a certain way. They start the day a certain way. And when there is something that pops up, instead of correcting it, they meditate on the negativity and allow themselves to get dragged down into that. and then experience more of that throughout the day, never realizing that they just created that day from scratch. You must start your day good. You must start your day in the highest vibrational state. You must be focusing on the good. You must be grateful. Are you starting your day thanking God and praising God for the good things you have in your life? Many people don't. Well, that is going to lead to a problem. Do you start your day maybe reading some scripture, meditating on some good words, maybe reading a book that is edifying for you? Because many people go straight to social media and read the negativity and the drama and the news and the discord going on in the world. These are conscious acts you're making that choose the negative. They choose a bad experience for that day and for many days to come in many cases. Now I know because it's not presented. Well, if I go read the social media, there's not a big banner that pops up on your social media. If you start reading this, you're going to get in a low vibrational state and you're going to have a bad day. There's nothing like that. Matter of fact, even if there was supposed to be some warning like that, it would just say some lie like, well, you know, you need to be informed, so you got to read the news. Because that's what most people tell themselves. They know it's not good for them. They know they're not getting benefited from it. They know it is not making their lives better, and yet they still consume that stuff. You have to snap out of this. Many people are walking around in a stupor, spiritual stupor, blinded to the truth and the reality of their lives, the reality of the fact that they are creating the life they're experiencing. God's not doing it, and if the devil's to blame, it's only because you've allowed him place in your life. The scripture says plainly, neither give place to the devil. The scripture says that if you submit yourself therefore to God and resist the devil, he shall flee from you. How does he have any part in your life if you submitted to God and resisted the devil? He'll flee from you. That's the promise of Scripture. If he's not fleeing from you, it's because you haven't submitted to God or you haven't also resisted the devil. Now, how does that happen? You're starting your day, you're focused on the negative. That's not resisting the devil. You're focused on the news of the day. That's not resisting the devil. You're focused on social media drama. That's not resisting the devil. You go right into emails, reading the problems of your customers and clients. That's not resisting the devil. You're starting your day in a non-resistant space. You're starting your day submitting to the devil. Not submitting to God and his goodness and his blessing and his abundance and his glory, but submitting to the devil. If you look at it that way, if you'll start looking at it that way, it's going to change the way you do things. Next time you go to grab your phone, you start thinking, I'm going to go read this post on social media. You're going to, wait, no. I don't want to read that trash. That's not going to do me any good. That's going to make my life worse. And I'm choosing good things. I'm choosing to focus on the good. I'm choosing to only think about things that are lovely and of good report. And you'll put it down. My friend, you can have a glorious life. The life that Jesus came to give you. But you are going to have to choose this day who you're going to serve. Are you going to focus on God and his goodness? Or are you going to focus on the devil and the world's problems? That's a choice you make. I can't make it for you. If I could make it for you, I would. And you'd be focused on the positive. And you'd get rid of all that social media nonsense and all this drama and discord and news and all these things that people are giving time to. And you would focus on the good. You'd get in prayer and meditation, thinking about the goodness of God, visualizing his goodness in your life, and experience more of that each and every day. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.